Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's Needle here and welcome back to Lothric. The last time out I think we took on the deacons, didn't we? And also explored the tower up above, I believe. Let's talk to the women and find out. Yeah, we did, heal the dark sigil, so we got that too. So we had a little look around here. Hawkwood seems to have gone missing, but that's okay. There's two ways Hawkwood can go missing. The first one is he actually just steps outside, and there's nothing really interesting to that. He just steps outside and stands next to a gravestone. The second one is he can actually disappear permanently, and Andre has some information on that.
Weapons and
okay, so there's nothing yet. It usually happens once you beat our first Lord of Cinder. Once you beat the first Lord of Cinder, Hawkwood takes it upon himself to move on, and then he has his own sort of quest line that doesn't really come into play later in the story. Okay, so today I think we're just going to push on to our first Lord. I think that's the best way to do things. We have the Store of Greatsword. I don't actually have a whole lot of experience with it. Oh wait, no. Okay. First of all, we're going to clear out the rest of this area. There's only one little bit left to do, and it is kind of important from a PvP kind of standpoint, and also from a couple of NPC quests kind of standpoint as well. So we're going to go do this. Once we've done this, all the cathedral's clear. And we can just move on. I think it's this one. No, okay, it's not. It'll be good to get some experience with the Astora Greatsword as well. I actually thought it was a normal Greatsword. It wasn't until I sort of powered it up in the last episode and swung it around at the end of the last episode I was like, damn, this thing's really, really big. So I don't really have a great deal of experience with these kind of weapons. I've never really used them in any Souls game. They clearly work, as you can see there. So this brings you up here, just at the edge of the kind of graveyard area. And you want to climb up here, and there's going to be a dude waiting for you up here. And he's not going to be friendly. Cheeky little deacon. Give him a big two-handed sword to the face, and he is going to drop the deep ring for us. The deep ring, I think, is it allows you to attune an additional spell. Yeah, attunement of additional spells. A ring bestowed upon the deacons of the Cathedral of the Deep allows attunement of additional spells. In the cathedral slumber things most terrible, and as such the deacons require a grand narrative to ensure they do not falter in their duty. A philosophy to ward away the madness beckoned by the grotesqueries at hand. So, it's basically saying this place used to be kind of holy, now it's not, it's gone insane, and those who once believed in the gods still require the kind of belief they have in them or something, you know, that they need to project that they're still in control and everything, considering how insane this place is. This is an ambush, so we're going to draw him out. And so seen here is my biggest problem with slow weapons in this game and big bulky weapons is that 90% of enemies can actually get a few shots into you before you will ever get a shot into them. And the problem with that is it's constant, if you know what I mean. Like, even enemies who are also carrying similarly sized weapons to you will always swing them faster, so you'll always be at a disadvantage. There's another ambush, perhaps not here, but in the next area. So we kind of need to draw this guy to us. There we go. I've thought about it, and in Dark Souls 2 I went for the kind of cheesy run, didn't I? I went with the claymore. There's meant to be a guy. Maybe not then. Maybe he fell or something. Anyway, always keep looking to these sides and down here as you walk. As you can imagine, this is also another ambush. There you are. So it's a Pale Tongue. Pale Tongue is for the PvP covenant in this game. The Dark Wraith sort of contingent, which are known as the Rosaria's Fingers, which we already know through Ringfinger Leonard. There is also an item down there. I'm not too sure if it's good though. And as you can see, it is totally a trap. I don't know when he drops down though. There's one down here as well. Right, so here it comes. So you can have that. And then his friend is on the roof down here too. Or not. The arbalest. Oh, that's quite good actually. It's like a crossbow, but it's kind of faster and stronger. It's not the worst kind of thing to have in your arsenal anyway, especially not in this area. So we are gonna go through here. Right. Do not worry about this kind of area. It seems kind of perilous and difficult at first. But there's the reason. There's a way to get around this. So do not fear. But yes, as I was saying, I went for the cheesy kind of build, didn't I? In Dark Souls 2. So, to be honest, if a dark sword, my apologies, drops. Yep, see, so that's what's going to happen most of the time you fight guys up here, so don't worry about anyone knocking you off. If you play it right, the AI does all the work for you. Difficult, more difficult will be these guys, definitely. But because they have a lot of hyper armor. I mean, that's just bullshit. That guy damaged us when we were standing still, or when he was standing still. So that was annoying. So yeah, Cathedral Knight armor. Too heavy for us, but it's good to have it anyway. So in the event that a dark sword does drop on the way to the Abyss Watchers, I think I'm just going to use it. These guides aren't meant to be, look at me challenging myself and beating Dark Souls. It's just meant to be, here's how you get through the game. Quick and easy. So this guy is a pain. He's the one we're going to have to get rid of. And of course, if you just keep running around these areas. Oh dear. Hey, so there you go, you see, we've got a big increase there in our souls, which means that guy totally fell off. So yeah, so the Dark Sword is kind of the easiest way to beat the game. Pretty much. So now we've got rid of that guy, we can drop down here. And that guy goes down as well. Bye bye now. And then we can drop down here. And now that we are down here, we are relatively safe. I say that because there are enemies, but they're not too difficult. There we go. And we can pull this. And that'll bring up the pathway that Patches dropped for us so kindly. There he is.
Yes, hello. I don't believe we've met. I'm Patches. Unbreakable Patches. You seem to be unkindled. Do you have business with me?
So we say you know who I am.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my hand, as you know. But the deed, well, that was the armor's doing. Regrettable, truly. But behold, I'm stripped clean of that unruly attire. And look at you. Not a scratch. All's well that ends well, right? Yes, we'll be fine. I can tell. It's that rotten curse. It is. The untidy mess.
So now he gives us another gesture towards the achievement.
Yes, just a little.
And if we keep talking to him, he kind of apologises to us, and then we get him as a merchant. So we're going to need to buy all of this stuff here if we want to continue the questline for Siegmeyer. I'm going to buy the helmet first and foremost. Can I sell some stuff to him? Don't really have anything to sell to him. But we need to buy all of this off of him. Once we've spoken to him here, which we have now done, Siegmeyer should appear in the well back at the first bonfire, and also Patches will now move back to Firelink Shrine, so that's all good. Coming along here, we've got another big kind of walkway to go with some of these worms. There's a lot of them, so just need to take them out. I've decided just to check out the weapon art. That's actually pretty good. This guy is actually non-hostile, I believe. Yeah, he is. So we'll talk about what he just dropped for us in a minute. So one-handed this is actually quite similar to the claymore, I'm finding. Glug. Pillage corpse, don't know what they drop. They drop undead hunter charms. Okay, so these guys seem to be, well, they're followers of Rosaria. This is her altar. As you can see, we're going to recolour stuff, and they seem to be very much opposed to what's going on in the cathedral. They don't like all this dark nonsense, because if you can find some of the corpses of the ones who've been corrupted, you can see that exactly where the darkness appears on them is where they've been stabbed. So I'm not too sure if that's the spikes are causing that darkness, or the spikes are to try and get rid of that darkness. The red sign soapstone that we got allows you to participate in duels. Be summoned to another world as a dark spirit and defeat the host of embers to gain the strength of fire. Not all dark spirits are unsporting, or they wouldn't make use of this soapstone. So if you want to get into fight clubs and stuff, that's the way you do it. You can now push open this door and unlock the PvP covenant of the game, or the invasion covenant more accurately. Here we are. And luckily there's a bonfire right here, so we don't need to worry about tracking all the way back. So we can light this up, and if you've defeated Kirk when he invaded you, you'll get all of his armour right here too. So that's quite nice. It's good for PvP just to have one of the pieces on, because when you roll into folk you'll do like 1 damage. So if someone's using Tears of Denial, which allows you to survive a lethal attack with 1 HP, you can then roll into them using the Armour of Thorns that you're wearing and kill them anyway. This is Rosaria. She's the leader of this covenant. She seems to be surrounded by these grubs, or one grub as I always assumed it was. I actually believe that this grub right here is actually the Archdeacon, which belongs to the Saint Bident that we had in the description. I can't remember his name now. Is it Klimt perhaps? Klimt, yeah, formerly wielded by Saint Klimt. He discarded this weapon that draws upon one's faith on the day he put his own faith behind him. I believe he put his own faith behind him and stayed with the Rosaria, and that's him right there. That's my kind of take on enemy. Rosaria herself is quite an interesting character, but she doesn't actually say any words. Okay, I'm trying to... yes. I'm not going to enter into her covenant, because if you do join her covenant, then it ruins another questline. It ruins Cyrus's questline, and we actually need her for some more interesting things later in the game, as well as a very, very good ring. So we're going to try and keep her alive. If we rest, I think Leonard should perhaps show up. No. Okay, I think we actually maybe need to go back to the shrine and then come back here, but we can do all this later. Leonard has his own sort of questline, and I actually think it involves joining this covenant, so I'm not too sure we will be able to do it this playthrough, but we'll find out anyway. There's Hawkwood there, he's back, and he's still just saying the old same crap, so I'm just going to ignore what he's saying right now. And there's Leonard there.
Now invade and come on.
So he's not saying anything else new either, but once we find Rosaria, I think you do need to either join the covenant or offer a pale tongue, and then things kind of change around, but we're not going to do that until we do Cyrus's questline much later in the game. So ignoring that, we are now going to go to the Farron Keep perimeter and head towards our first Lord of Cinder. What was I going to say? What was I going to talk about? No, it's just slipping right out of my head at the moment. Yes, Rosaria. Not only does she function as the PvP sort of covenant leader, she also offers 2 different kind of services that you need to offer a pale tongue for. However, even using those services and offering a pale tongue still counts as joining the covenant, and will still ruin Cyrus's questline, so you can't actually do them until you finish with her. The 2 things that she offers is, the first one is that she can change your appearance, so if you don't like the way you look, she can alter the way... oh, I jumped there, I thought that was an actual enemy. She can alter the way that you look if you don't like it. And the second thing that she can do is actually reallocate your stat points, similar to the Soul Vessel in Dark Souls 2. However, you can only do both of these things 5 times each in one playthrough, so careful not to use them all up too early. We're going to let this kind of battle continue. Let all these guys fight it out. The Dark Wraiths should probably win. Never really is too close, I find. I think there's a way. I've seen someone actually creatively manage to bring all the enemies in the area towards the Dark Wraiths and give them a much tougher time, but never seen it myself. Never done it myself, more to the point. This big blade that we have should give us a little bit of an advantage on them at distance. Apologise there, that was my phone, it's on vibrate instead of silent, didn't think that went through. Well, at distance we should have a little bit of an advantage. was hoping that one of them would at least die. So that's not good. So I managed to do what I didn't want to do and aggro the both of them. Wow, okay. That was good for us. Thank God for those hitboxes. They went to do the kind of humanity steal and... Don't get involved up close with the Dark Wraith, there's no point. Thankfully, this thing offers heavy poise breaking power. Dark leggings and cracked red eye orbs. Red eye orbs are good. If you don't have the permanent one, you can sell them on at least. If you do have the permanent one. So we didn't get any dark swords, so that's that question answered for us. And here's the wolf blood soa grass. There's a guy up there and there's also a guy just up there as well, but we don't want to get involved in any of those guys. We're going to summon as many people as we can and you'll see why. It's going to turn into a bit of a battle royale. The other summon sign disappeared. That's unusual. Shouldn't you be able to summon 2 phantoms? Maybe you have to choose between which one you want to summon, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Don't want to make it too easy for you. But that's fine, we'll take Cirrus with us because I think that might further her questline anyway. Behind this door is our first real challenge, the first Lord of Cinder, so without further ado, I present to you guys the Abyss Watchers. I love that pose. You can actually get that pose as a gesture. But here we go, this fight is going to begin and it's going to get pretty hectic pretty fast. There's a good few things about this fight you should know. First of all, the Abyss Watchers can be backstabbed and parried. Second thing you should probably know is that the Astora Greatsword can absolutely stunlock them into oblivion. Providing you get them at the right time, of course. Yes, third thing you should know. Although it starts off with a 1-on-1 fight, it quickly turns into a 2-on-1 and then a 2-on-2 fight. Basically what happens is there is one main Abyss Watcher right here that we're fighting, and then there is another one that comes to join him. He can take damage, but he doesn't count to the overall health bar of the Abyss Watchers. Only this one does that we're attacking right now. And as you can see, eventually you actually get help from an evil Abyss Watcher. And as you can see there, you can totally even just interrupt all their attacks using the Astora Greatsword, so don't be afraid to whip that one out. It does pretty decent damage as well. Remember that I've already... So you might think at this point that we're just running things and he's pretty much dead and it's all over. And you wouldn't be too wrong. However, this is just the first half of the fight. A common theme you will find with the Lord of Cinder fights in this game is that once you get them to about a halfway stage, they're going to take the power of Cinder, they're going to take the power of fire and reinvigorate themselves and come at you harder than they were in the first half of the fight. So right here, the Legion is coming together, it's pulling the wolf's blood within them into the one soldier as one last hurrah to try and stop you. So he's going to come back, he's going to be the same guy as in the first one. This time it is just a straight 1-on-1 fight, or 2-on-1 as it is for us because we have Cirrus. but this time he's going to have trails of fire and fire slashes and stuff. If you fought Lady Maria in Bloodborne, get prepared to fight Lady Maria 2.0, although not as difficult, of course. Thankfully, because we've done the Cathedral of the Deep, we're in a good position, because we're kind of over leveled and we have a good weapon, so it shouldn't be too difficult for us. We're going to heal up as soon as we spawn in. My advice to you is just to spend the first couple of seconds of this form dodging, so that you can kind of just find out, yes, things like that. You want to find out what kind of abilities they have in this kind of form. You aren't safe like at any point in this form as well, I should point that out. So if you think you're getting behind him and you land a sneaky shot, you're probably not. He's going to do this kind of swirly thing, and the fire has a kind of trail. It's going to hurt you a lot, so be careful on that one. Honestly though, even fighting solo, if you can get by the first half of the fight, it's not that difficult. It really is just whenever you're outmatched in the beginning. If you can survive that, then the rest of the fight is not actually that difficult. And things like the Astora Straight Sword and backstabs kind of cheapen the experience. I think they've actually maybe either nerfed the damage the Astora Straight Sword, the Astora Great Sword does on its charge, or just its power, because originally you could just stun lock them over and over. Not going to take any chances here. Going to backstab him again. And then we're going to just keep dodging, just keep dodging. You'll find that, well, a lot of the summons in this game are not particularly great, but I find Cirrus to be really one of the most ineffectual in the whole game. Just kind of hanging out. Almost got him. And there we go. Plunge to the heart with a charge from the Astora Greatsword. That was awesome. Cinders of the Lord and Soul of the Blood of the Wolf. So Cirrus is going to go now. Bye bye, Cirrus. And if you can approach here, once you have the Cinders of the Lord, it's going to open up the next area of the game. For us right now though, we're going to head back to the shrine. I forgot to set a timer for this episode, so I don't want to drag it out any more than it has to be. So I think this is a good place to end it. We've got our first Cinders of our Lord. And we can just head back to the shrine to see if anything's changed. I think Cirrus might be there for us to talk to and kind of further her questline a little bit more. Nope. I think whenever she comes back, she sits over there. Just giving a little check. I'm going to go speak to Hawkwood, but of course, as you can tell by his attire now and the sword that he has on his back, he actually has a little bit of a relationship to the Legion. So let's see what he has to say.
You oft the Lords of Cinder, the undead Legion. So that's how they're delivered to their thrones. I pity the sorry souls. Is that really Lordship's last reward? I failed to thank you for helping them find their final resting place. I pity.
So, as he points out, it seems the only way for a lord to return to their thrones right now is for us to put them in their place. So we're going to take these cinders and put them where they belong. If you were in any doubt as to Hawkwood's relationship with the Legion, we now know, because of course he just granted us the Farron ring. What is it we've got here? The Crest Shield? Okay, we're going to go looking for a different Crest Shield at the start of the next episode. It'll just take 2 seconds. But the Cinders of the Lord don't actually, like, I realised I forgot to check them there, but every single description I think is much the same. It just changes the first text where it just says Cinders of X, and then the second part is always the same. The Soul of the Blood of the Wolf, used to acquire numerous souls. The blood was spread amongst the Abyss Watchers, and their souls are one with the soul of the Wolf Blood Master. So as you can see, there's a lot of people have speculated maybe it wasn't the Abyss Watchers who were necessarily the Lord of Cinder, but actually the blood that they held within them. Can't say words today. The blood that they held within them. So as we all kind of know, that's kind of a remnant of Artorias, and as such perhaps it's kind of saying it was really his will that was the power. Here's where you going.
I know you. Been some time. since we met in person. I just dropped in to see how she's getting on. Now, what are you playing at with this circus? This cesspool of doddering old folk and degenerates couldn't be better. She must fit in perfectly here.
He's going to be his old crusty self, but pay him no heed. He's just worried about Arena down there, but we'll take good care of her over this playthrough, believe me, because on my playthrough I didn't, and I really regretted it, so we'll make sure to do things right. Have you got anything else to say to us, Leonard? Okay. That mask is cool, by the way. I will take that one day. If we come over here to Ludleth.
Aha, that so.
I think he has.
Most
there we go.
illustrious Lord Seeker. Or should I say, Lord Slayer? Fine kindling for the thrones, is it not? Each soul truly worthy of lordship, and all slain by thy hand, to bind them to their thrones, even in death. Oh, I have no qualms, for as we are to our thrones, thou art to thy duty. In fact, methinks thou'st helped these poor lords along their rightful path.
So it's always good to get Ludleth's sort of take on things, because he is a Lord of Cinder, but he's taken a different route that all the rest of them have. All the rest of them ran away, whereas he stayed behind and actually sat where he wanted. And he's kind of supporting us. He's saying, look, we're meant to be here, we're meant to sit on these thrones and die so that the world might live again. So you're just doing what you're meant to do, we'll just do what we're meant to do. Bring them back any way you can, even if you have to kill them. Transposing this thing gets you one of two weapons. The Wolf-Knight Greatsword, which anyone will immediately recognise as the one and only Artorias' sword. Greatsword of a knight trained by the Dark of the Abyss and master of the Wolf's Blood of Farron. The Wolf Knight was the first Abyss Watcher, and his sword is more punishing against creations of the Abyss. This is actually a pretty decent sword. I'm not too sure about its unique moveset. I've never actually picked it up myself, but from what I understand, many of the bigger enemies and bosses in the game actually do take extra damage from this, so it could be a worthwhile investment. Skill, Wolf Sword. While in stance, use normal attack for a low spinning slash or a strong attack to leap forward and a vertically slashing somersault. So it's the same moveset in the weapon art as it was in Dark Souls 1 if you used it. The more interesting weapon, and one that most people go for, is the Farron Greatsword. Greatsword of the Abyss Watchers, which is atypically paired with an unusual dagger. The dagger is utilised as a wedge in the left hand, while the Greatsword is held in the right, a unique technique that was synonymous with the Undead Legion. Confounds foes in the manner of wolves hunting prey. Skill, parry. So, we're going to take this. Can we actually use it? We need 20 dex, but I'll probably take it anyway.
Now.
And basically, I can still equip it, although I can't show you its moveset, I don't think. As you can see, you get this down here, and if you use the skill, it does that. And if you use the actual attacks, yeah, there you go. You kind of do this, do the Abyss Watcher spin slash thing. So that's pretty cool. You see people using it in PvP, perhaps too much, as many people will complain about, but it's actually quite a cool weapon. I think you can maybe chain some stuff. Maybe it's probably because I don't have enough dex to wield it. That makes sense. So back to our main weapon of choice right now. The old Astora Greatsword. We have enough to level up, but as usual I think I'll leave that to the next episode. This one's been kind of low key. We're just getting our work done. We had one boss to kill and we did it. We had one area to explore and we did that too. Patches is upstairs. We're going to continue to buy Siegmeyer stuff before we go any further, because we actually need to do that before we complete the next area. And then we have in the next episode another quest line to actually push forward, and another secret area to find, and another potentially super easy boss to defeat. But until next time guys, I want to thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like on this video, and if you want to see more from my channel and see more content, please subscribe and tell your friends. Thank you very much for joining me here today. We are resting under the candlelight of the Firelink Shrine, and until next time guys, stay kindled.